Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've watched any of my previous videos. My name is Brittany. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content from me, things like vlogs, lifestyle, travel content. I'm your girl. But anyway, let's jump into this video. So here we are at the end of 2023. In the words of Mariah Carey, it's a wrap. In this video, I want to share my 2023 favorites. So in the beginning, or like the first part of this, I'll share my favorite like products, so like things, and then I'll share more of my favorite like media, like movies, TVs, shows, all of that. I honestly just like can't believe that 2023 is like literally over. So let's get into it. So to start with my favorite product. So I will say, in my heart of hearts, who I truly am, I am a material girl. I love to buy things. I love to shop. It's one of my favorite hobbies. But this year I did try to scale back a lot on like not buying unnecessary things, or just like buying less things in general. But I obviously still bought some stuff because like, what's a girl to do? So the favorites that I'm going to go like walk through are from a couple different categories. So like makeup, skincare, body care, and a few other things. So I will say too, I think I've mentioned this before, I work for Sephora, so I do get a lot of products for free or a discount on products. Even before working at Sephora, I was very much like a product junkie, like always buying and trying things. I'm always open to trying a new product. But now having like this discount and access to free product, I feel like I've tried even more things just because they're like easily accessible to me. And even though some of the things I didn't like pay for out of pocket, I know I will be like, I already have rebought them or will be rebuying them because like now I love them. So without further ado, let's get into the list. So we'll start with hair care. And I actually just washed my hair yesterday morning, and I've used all of these products actually when I wash my hair. Like I said, they're like core parts of my routine now. So the first product I'm going to talk about is the Ceremonia Scalp Scrub. So this is the Ceremonia Papaya Scalp Scrub. I really love this. I've tried a handful of scalp scrubs before. Like I said, I'm always willing to try anything. And I really, really like this one. It feels like it smells really good, first of all. And it just like, I feel like it makes my hair like feel and smell good. And I've been trying to like work on hair growth throughout this year. So, and my hair has actually grown like a pretty decent amount because my hair was really, really short at the beginning of the year just from like breakage. And so I feel like, and I know scalp scrubs are really supposed to help with hair growth and like regeneration and all of that. So I've been using this one, and I usually use like a scalp massager. Like I basically like wet my hair and then put the scalp scrub, like section it like throughout my scalp, and then use a scalp massager to scrub it in. And so like the description for this says the papaya scalp scrub is a whipped shampoo. So they consider this a shampoo. I still use a shampoo in addition to this, but I feel like this is a good step one, especially like I don't wash my hair every day, which I feel like most, especially Black people or people in general with curly hair, don't wash their hair every day. So I use this plus a shampoo, but they say you can use this in a replacement of a shampoo once a week. And then, yeah, just apply it to your scalp, lather it up, and rinse it out. So I also like really like Ceremonia because of like the whole brand story. So this is a Latinx brand, and there is a docuseries on Hulu called The Founding of Baeza, and it's about all like Latinx beauty founders or like beauty influencers, and they're kind of talking about their just like their journey with beauty and like different products that they've tried, or just like their experiences in the world of like beauty, hair care, makeup, all of that. And the first episode is like the founder of Ceremonia is like a big part of it. It's hosted by Adrienne Bailon, like all of the episodes. And now I'm remembering I haven't gone back to finish watching it, but it was really good. So they like you learn about a lot about like the story of Ceremonia, which a brand story is gonna get me every time. And it worked. So anyway, I'm loving this Ceremonia scalp scrub. And then this Adwa Beauty clarifying shampoo is something that also has become like a core part of my routine. So I usually use so basically like I have a whole video on like my wash day routine, and it's pretty similar to what I'm about to explain now. I had been using in that video the Olaplex clarifying shampoo, which I don't dislike, but this one is a little bit cheaper, and I feel like it's a little more moisturizing than the Olaplex one, and I just wanted to try it, and I like it better than the Olaplex one, I think. So I usually do the scalp scrub, a clarifying shampoo, and then like do a regular moisturizing shampoo, and then I'm done with like the cleaning part of my routine, my hair care routine. But I really like this one. I feel like I said, it gets my hair, I feel like squeaky clean, gets a lot of the product buildup out, especially if it's been like a week or two since I've washed my hair. And but it doesn't leave my hair feeling like stripped and dry. So 12 out of 10 would recommend the Adwa clarifying shampoo. And then another product that I tried, I don't know if I said this at the top of the video, But all of these products that I'm talking about are all things that were new to me in 2023. I might have already said that. They were new to me in 2023, and I've been loving them. So anyway, this Vegamore leave-in conditioner, I really, really like this leave-in conditioner too. I mean, as I feel like every hair type I feel like should use a leave-in conditioner, right? But I know especially like curly and coily hair types, because obviously you want like that extra moisture. And I've tried a million different leave-in conditioners and they all have been like, like fine, no disrespect to them, but like I never have loved them. This one I'm obsessed with. It's just the perfect amount of like, it's light enough and not like heavy and too milky and wet, I guess is the right way to describe it. It's a really good mist, but it also is very moisturizing. I feel like my hair feels like so fluffy and soft after I use this. So this is, again, a core part of my hair care routine now. So that's everything in the category of hair. Let's move on now to, let's do body care next. So, okay, a couple of products that have become like my faves in 2023 are, I've talked about this shower gel on, I think, 2 videos now. One is like my Paris vlogs, that's where I discovered this brand, and then on my Black Friday, Cyber Monday haul, because I bought more product then, but it's Nooks, and this is the shower gel specifically. So I haven't used, this one's not open yet. I haven't used this flavor scent, but I have like a couple others that I've been using since I bought them, and I'm obsessed with these shower gels. I feel like shower gels are, again, something like, they're like a dime a dozen. I buy one, I just try a different brand every time because I've never been like obsessed with any. These I actually bought like 4 of in their Black Friday Cyber Monday sale, and I just really like it. I feel like it's very hydrating, it smells really good, and it's just like I'm into it. So that is one of my faves now. And then in the like, I'm still considering this body care, but this is more in the fragrance realm, is this Dead Cool fragrance. And so this is considered a layering fragrance. And this is a genderless, I think it's called Milk is the name of it. I probably should have double checked that, but this is a genderless fragrance. And that's like the whole Dead Cool, like their ethos. I think that like everything is genderless. It smells really good. It's like very clean and clear, and I really like it. I actually have, I did get this for free, but like this is something I will rebuy. And I also got some like car, like, the car thing, the things like the little air fresheners that you hang in your car. I got some of those, but I don't have a car. So I put them in, I actually put them in my trash can, like, because I feel like the trash always gets a little smelly. So I like put them inside of my trash can, and it does smell really good now. So this is a thing I'm also loving. Okay, moving now into, my favorite category of all, skincare. So, I mean, if you know me, you know that I'm very into skincare. Right now, my skin looks a little not great. So, like, don't judge me based on this. I'm having a tough time. But skincare in general is one of my greatest passions. So, a product that was, I'm pretty sure this was new to me in 2023, or I just maybe started using it really religiously in 2023, is the Youth to the People facial cleanser. So you can see there's like gunk on it from how much I've been using this. So it's called the Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser. It's just like a gel based like cleanser, but I feel like it's so clean, and so it suds up really well, and I feel like it really does get all the like dirt and gunk out of my skin, but it feels so gentle at the same time. And so this is like this is like the biggest size bottle that I think it comes in. And I had bought, like, I think I tried this for the first time in like a little sample, and I was obsessed. And then I bought like a slightly bigger bottle, and I was starting to run out of that. And then I got this for free, and I was like, oh, perfect timing. So this like is something I am obsessed with. And this is also another Latinx brand. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned too that like Audra is a Black-owned beauty brand. So, okay, another product I think I actually might have started using this at the very tail. No, I did start using this in 2023. So it's the Topicals, what's it called? The Topicals Faded Serum. So it's a brightening and cleaning serum. I feel like Topicals is very like, it's very trendy on social media. I feel like amongst like the Gen Zs, but like they know what they're talking about. So I don't know how I discovered Topicals. I think there's something at work, like I think it might have been like through on Black History Month, because this is a black founded by like a Black woman too, and her story was really interesting. She was working on like Wall Street or something. She had like a really professional job, and she was really young, and then, or maybe she was like in business school, like at Wharton or something like that, and then started developing this brand. It took off, and like now this is like what she does, like full time. And I want to say too, she developed this because she was finding, it was like if you have darker skin, like anytime you have like breakouts, like hyperpigmentation is just worse because you have more melanin in your skin to create that hyperpigmentation. So she didn't feel like there was a product on the market that was good for her, like helped, and was actually like, I think these are almost like clinically, like clinical strength, and they're not that expensive. Like I think this tube is $20 or something like that, which for skincare isn't bad, and it lasts for a while because you really don't need to use a lot. So I have been using this because, like I said, I've been having some breakouts, and so I feel like I'm starting to get some dark spots. So I've been using it like on those places where I'm getting those dark spots. But I love the Topicals Faded Serum, and there are Topicals Under Eye patches too that are like brightening in the same way for like dark circles, which I also have, and I love those too. So Topicals is that girl. And then, okay, this is the last skincare product. So this is, I don't know if this came out in 2023, but I just started using it in 2023. It might have come out last year, but it's the Summer Fridays SPF. And so it's called the Shade Drops Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Mineral Milk Sunscreen. And obviously, like you need to be wearing sunscreen every day on your face, well, body, but especially face. And I just really like this. Like it goes on it is milky, but like not in a bad way. It's very just like almost like blurring, just clean and smooth. And I feel like, again, minerals for dark skin, mineral sunscreen is really hard to find, something that doesn't leave like a cast behind, like a white or even like a purple cast or something. And this is like no cast at all. So 12 out of 10 would recommend. I'm down to like here on this, and I will definitely be rebuying this I actually probably need to buy it. No, I have some other sunscreens that I want to use first before I rebuy this one, but I will be rebuying. Okay, and then in the makeup realm, so makeup is one of my greatest passions in addition to skincare. But some products I tried this year that I've really been loving are, so this is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm, and I have this in the color 10, and which is darker than like my skin tone, but that is because I use this actually as a bronzer or like a bronzer contour, like a soft sculpt type of thing. A lot of people use this as like an all over face color because it is really blurring, like truly like yummy skin balm. It is like, it does make your skin look very yummy, and it's like very yummy and it's like very blurring. But I saw someone on TikTok use it as as a contour, and I was like, ooh, I love that. And like Danessa Myricks is like a really amazing makeup artist anyway. It's also like a black owned brand, and I'd been wanting to try some like products from Danessa Myricks. Besides, I tried like the pigments, but I wanted to try some of her other like complexion products. So I dabbled in this, and I really like it. I just like how it's a little bit, I have a hard time. I feel like it's hard to find contours that work really well for dark skin. They're either too dark or not dark enough, or maybe too warm or something. But I just feel like this for me was like the perfect color. So I really like using this. And then in addition to that, I also use the House Labs bronzer. I don't know if I use both of these every day, but pretty often. The Yummy Skin Balm, I think I use even on my like very, very light makeup days. But this is the House Labs Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. And I have this in the color Deep level 11. And this is like bronzers. I know I just said this, I think, but bronzers are really, I feel like, can be challenging to find if you have darker skin, because they're either bronzers, I feel like, for dark skin are either too muddy or too not dark enough, or just like not the right undertones. And I feel like this is perfect. And the combination of these two, I feel like makes my skin look very much like it's glowing, because people are always like, oh, your skin looks so great. Like, what do you have on? And like, or like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I literally think it's the bronzers. So these are like my holy grails. And then last but not least in the makeup realm is this Fashion Fair lip oil. Oh yeah. So I forget what the full name of this product is. I don't think it's on here, but this is in the color Supreme Brown. I actually have it on my lips right now too. I love this lip oil. I mean, I love lip products. This is what the color looks like. I love lip products in general. Like if you were to look at my makeup situation right now, plus what's in my purse, I need an intervention. But I really love it. And I also bought this in like a deep purple color with like a little bit of metallic in it, that I really like that. I wore that on like Halloween, and for one other time I went out somewhere nicer. And I'll probably wear it when I do my makeup later today for New Year's. But I just feel like they're both like they're very hydrating. The pigment of the color is really good. And Fashion Fair is just such an iconic brand that I'm always gonna support my girl. So another product that I love. And okay, I think those are all in the like beauty realm. So let me just check my notes to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, so I didn't forget anything. And okay, moving on to the next category. I don't really know what to call this. Like you could say, I guess, like biohacking. That phrase freaks me out though. It just is so weird. But I guess we'll go with that. So two products that are, well, actually I'm realizing one of them is not new to me for 2023, but I feel like 2023 was the first year I used it from start to finish, and that is my Aura Ring, which I am obsessed with. I love my Aura Ring. If you don't know what an Aura Ring is, it's basically like a wellness tracker, I guess you could say. So I really like the sleep component of it and like the readiness. Like I like this a lot better than the Apple Watch because I feel like the Apple Watch is very much like fitness, workout. You need to be working out. Your friends are working out. You're not working out. And like that's kind of insane. And it doesn't take into account like your full body experience where I feel like the Oura Ring really does. And so it's like, oh, you slept really great last night. You have like a 100 readiness or like sleep score and readiness score. Like you can take on the world basically. Or it's like, actually, you didn't sleep that great. You probably need to like rest and relax and like take it easy. And so I just feel like it's a very much like a whole body wellness experience. It even like tracks your temperature and then like you'll know, am I starting to get sick? Because I don't have a thermometer. Or also like in your cycle too, for women, like your body temperature changes at different parts in your cycle. So it can help for that component. And it's just, I really, really like the Oura Ring a lot. So it is pricey though, I will say. You now can use your FSA or HSA to purchase it. I mean, I that wasn't the case when I bought it, but if you're interested, I will link a $40 like a referral code in the description for like I think it's $40 off. But I love my Oura Ring, and in the same like health techness or tech health realm is the higher dose red light LED mask that I just got about a month or so ago, but I am obsessed with it. I feel like it really does help my skin like glow, and I did use my FSA for that. So that was kind of nice. So I had some funds that were going to expire soon. And they were also having a sale on the Higher Dose website. So another product that I'm very much into. And like, I feel like it does help my overall wellness because like aside from just the skincare components of it, I mean, red light therapy can help with other things too, like stress, hypertension, like anxiety, things like that. And it also is really good, I feel like, in the winter time when the days last for about 25 seconds anyway. And so there's not as much sunlight. So the red light, it does kind of replicate what sunlight feels like for your body. So it does help to give you like a little bit of an extra like boost and can help with your mood improvement and all of that in the winter, which is obviously always great. And I will say, I feel like this winter I haven't felt as much like, I don't think I have really bad seasonal affective disorder, but I feel like you can feel a little meh and like not super motivated in the winter. And not that I've been like taking on the world, but I do feel like I've felt more energetic than I have like in the past couple winters. So 12 out of 10 would recommend. So, okay, moving now into, I guess we'll call this like the fashion realm, maybe. So, like clothing and accessories. So, this year, okay, so I guess I should say I wouldn't call myself more recently like a fashion girly at all. I mean, I went to school for fashion. I've always like loved fashion and clothes and all of that. But I feel like in the past few years, I think mostly because of the pandemic, I've been like seeing clothes as like functional rather than like fun and like fashion and like creative. And I feel like I've like lost a little bit of my sense of style. So I'm trying to like get back to that. And I feel like this year I did a little bit of a better job, but I'm still not like fully there. And also I think some of that too is like gaining weight. So like my clothes didn't really fit my body and like it's just like I feel like it was a perfect storm of all these things. But I am trying to get back into like the style, the personal style of it all because I do like my personal style. But a few items I bought this year that I have been really liking are so I bought a TA3 swimsuit, and I can't remember the exact model or like version that I bought, but I'll link a picture of it on the screen here. But it's a one-piece bathing suit, and I feel like it's the most flattering bathing suit I've ever bought in my entire life. I kept getting targeted ads for it on Instagram. I swear, like every day, every hour, I was getting them. So I did finally just like go for it and buy one this summer. And I feel like it was worth it. Like it gives me like I'm pretty busty, but I feel like it gave me like really good support for especially for a one piece, like in the like boob area, and then it was pretty figure flattering too. And I don't have any. I have one photo or a couple of photos, but like from the same pose that I can insert of myself here. But they don't really, I feel like, give you a full body picture of like what it looked like. But I really think that these swimsuits are truly like worth the money. So that was a great buy for me. And then, oh, another thing I bought this year that this might seem kind of boring, but I bought a rain jacket, a rain jacket from Zara. I didn't have a rain jacket. I haven't had one for a long time, which is kind of weird because I mean, I feel like I live somewhere where like rain happens. So I haven't had a rain jacket, but I bought one. And I mostly bought this because I was going to, like, before I was going to Amsterdam, because it was supposed to be rainy while I was there, like chilly and rainy. And I wanted to like still be out doing stuff, but like feel prepared for that. So I bought it. It didn't end up raining as much as I thought, but I've been wearing it a lot just in general this fall and winter. And I just feel like it's a nice rain jacket. It's very like sleek, very simple, but like also very protective and warm. So I bought it in an extra large. I think I probably could have bought it in a large, but I think it's still like, it's pretty roomy and it's nice because I can wear like sweatshirts and stuff under it too. But I feel like people always are like, oh, I love your jacket. I love that rain jacket. So another item I also bought in the jacket realm was, and I've talked about this a couple times on my channel now, but it was this floral puffer that I bought from Rent the Runway. So I was originally renting it, and then because I've had a Rent the Runway subscription for the past like year or so, and then Rent the Runway is having like 35% off, like you could like off of pieces, and the jacket wasn't that terribly expensive to begin with, and like for a jacket, and then the 35% off, it was like around 100-ish, maybe $140. So I bought it, and it's again something I love wearing because it's, I mean, it's like it's warm first of all, and it's just like a cool piece. And people again are always like, I love that jacket. That's so fun. So it's something I know I'll keep wearing too. And I've been wearing it pretty often already. Okay, so like those are some like clothing apparel pieces, I guess you could say. And then in the accessories realm. So again, I've talked about this necklace multiple times on my channel now. So sorry if you've heard it a million times, but I won't stop talking about my Zodiac by Jewels necklace. If I can get my act together. So I bought this at Chelsea Market in New York from just like a vendor. I can't even remember what the shop was that we went in, but it was basically just like a bunch of like local vendors in there. So these are all Zodiac pendants. So they're all different like Virgo pendants that you can probably hear Rumi snoring in the background, another fellow Virgo. But you get to pick out like whatever pendants you want. So there were so many in there, and I was there with my friend Leah when we were in New York, and we got, first of all, Jules. I was obsessed with her, and then just the whole idea of picking out the exact ones that you want, and then she like strung them on this chain for you, and it's just kind of cool because like no one else will have this exact necklace like at all. And I even was watching an episode of Beverly Hills Housewives with my sister recently, and Kyle had on one of these. And I know it was from Zodiac Jewels. It looked like the exact same thing. And Zodiac Jewels does also have a booth at the Melrose Trading Post. So again, well, 20 with a housewife. But I really love that necklace. And then another piece of jewelry I bought this year that was like, I have never really bought much fine jewelry before, but I guess this year I said, why not? Is this Tiffany necklace that is from, it's like a collaboration from the Renaissance tour with, okay, yeah, I think you can see that. So it says like, welcome to the Renaissance, and like from Beyonce's Renaissance tour, but it's just like a cute little Tiffany pendant necklace. And it has the little like Renee, the little horse. Okay, her name's not really Renee, but like the horse from the concert. And I thought this was like a cool collab. And also 100% of the proceeds go to Be Good, I think, or one of the organizations, like one of like Beyonce, the organizations that like Beyonce works with. So I was like, okay, it's a good, also I'm doing a little bit of good out in the world. So that is another piece that I have been loving too. And I don't really have much silver jewelry, so this was kind of like a fun thing to buy. So what else? Oh, okay. So the last category of like things is in the travel realm. So these are like not new products necessarily, but they're new to me. So one thing I bought this year that like I really like having for travel is an AirTag. So AirTags, obviously people use all the time for like a multitude of things. I have been using them to put into my checked bags because, like, as I'm sure a lot of people have seen, on like the news and everything, or like on social media, flying in general lately has been like tough. And then there's so many issues. Most of it's because of like they're low on staff and like strikes and things like that, but like luggage keeps going missing places. So it was just kind of like some like peace of mind to put this, especially when I was traveling internationally a few times last year and checked my bag, to like put this in my bag so that if something happened, I could easily locate it. Was because like, I mean, the airline will just be like, we don't know where your luggage is, and then you just have to wait for it to show up. But if I can literally find my iPhone and say, okay, it's here or here or here. It just was like a little bit of extra peace of mind. And there was one incident where I thought my luggage was lost because I was waiting for so long at the baggage carousel. Like this was in the Miami airport, like at customs. And I was with my sister and I literally was like, I don't think my luggage is here. Cause like everyone else was getting theirs. But I kept looking and it like said it was at my luggage was at the airport. So I was like, okay, at the very least, I know it's here and I can locate it like if I need to. So that's something I just feel like that was like a good travel hack. Again, not new to me, but like I heard it somewhere online and I was like, oh yeah, that's something I'm gonna do. And then another item I bought for travel that I've really been liking this year are compression packing cubes. So I've been using regular packing cubes for a long time. And I had seen compression packing cubes and I was like, oh, these seem like a scam. But then I think I eventually saw some videos that convinced me, like, oh no, these actually could be legit. And then I bought these and they weren't that expensive. And I've been really liking them since then. And they do actually, I mean, no, they don't compress. Like, it's not vacuum sealed or anything, but it does do a decent amount of compression. I feel like especially if you're packing bulkier things like jeans or sweaters and stuff like that, like when I used these when I went to Europe, because I feel like I bring so much stuff because there were so many different climates that we were like going to encounter. And also just like different options for things. And I feel like it did really help me be able to pack more. I mean, obviously you still have to keep into consideration the weight and like those items still weigh the same, even though they're taking up less space. But I feel like they're also really good for checked bags, like just to help you squeeze in a couple more things and like have room in your bags. So, okay, those are all of my like product picks for 2023. And now moving into like the media that I consumed that I loved this year. So, okay, so we'll start with favorite movie. I love going to the movies. Like I go to the movies all the time. And when I counted, I think I saw in theaters about 30, I think it was 28 movies this year, at least from like what I could tally up. 28 different movies. A couple of them I did see twice, I think. Yeah, actually it was just Renaissance that I saw twice. I think, but anyway, I saw about 30 movies this year, and it was kind of hard to pick what was actually it wasn't that hard once I really thought about it, but when I was looking back, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that movie, and I forgot about that movie, and I forgot about that movie. But I think I would have to say my favorite movie of 2023 was The Color Purple. And it just came out this week, so like maybe I'm biased because it was like fresh on my mind. But I do really think it was like the best movie of 2023 for me. It was just so good. I mean, The Color Purple is an iconic story, especially like an iconic story, I feel like in Black media. Like the book, I've never read the book. I don't know if I want to because it's a little traumatic, but like the book is like very is like iconic. The original movie with like Whoopi Goldberg, Danny Glover, Oprah. I haven't seen that in so long, but that is just again such just like a big, like a monumental piece of media. And this movie, like they kept marketing it as like a bold new take. And it was a different take. Well, it's a musical, but I mean The Color Purple is also a musical on Broadway, and Fantasia has been Celie on Broadway as she is in this movie. And Fantasia deserves an Oscar for this, like hands down, because she was so good, like so good. Her voice was so good. She played the character so like she was just really really good. But I also feel like it was just a slightly different take on, at least from what I remember of the movie in some ways, in a way that it made it like, because I mean The Color Purple is a traumatic movie. Like it's hard to watch, I feel like. And I mean, I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen it since I was like a little kid, probably too young to be watching it, probably like a teenager. And I feel like it is really traumatic. And I feel like it still holds a lot of those same like themes, and like it's maybe not as overt in some of like especially around like the sexual assault and the like spousal abuse of it all, but you still get the message, I think. And especially if you already know the story of The Color of Purple. And they just like so many of the iconic lines from like the original movie and the musical are just like carried over into this movie. And like, and it was just like funny because like people like where like I was like everyone knew what was about to come. Like for instance, when Sophia says like you told Harpo to beat me, like it was just so like everyone was like, here we go. This is like the line. But the cast is also so stacked. Like, I mean, like I said, Fantasia, Taraji P. Henson, Halle Bailey, her, Sierra was in it, which I didn't realize she was going to be in it. And then why can't I think? So Danielle Brooks, and then why can't I think of the men, like Harpo and then Mr. I can't think of their names, but anyway, it's a great movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, 12 out of 10 would recommend. And then, I mean, I obviously watched a lot of movies at home too, like on TV, like streaming outside of the movie or going to the movies. And so I will give my favorite in that category too. And I think I would have to say it is Leave the World Behind, which again, this is a more recent movie. So I don't know if it's just fresh on my mind, but I think it's such a good movie. It's on Netflix, it's streaming now. And it is really thought provoking, but in a way, like in a very, um, like in a way that makes you go, huh. And I feel like even after the movie ends, like you can't stop thinking about it without like giving anything away. It's pretty much an end of the world movie, but it's one of the most realistic ones, I feel like, because what happens in this could hands down happen tomorrow. I feel like and it's like based in the United States because I mean, it's about like almost like a coup, pretty much. And I mean, the United States has done things like this in other countries. It would be so easy to do right now. I feel like in the United States with just how, or no, coup d'etat, that's what it's called, not a coup. Um, with just like how the like tension between like different social groups of people and just the way that there's so many, it's like so layered and there's so many messages built into it that I mean, you do need to be paying attention to like catch all of them. But even just like things like covert racism and a little classism and just like things like that, like Julia Roberts' character, like I love Julia Roberts, but I really hated her in this movie for most of it because she was just like your very typical liberal, I guess like you could say white liberal that like doesn't necessarily think that they're like doing all of like being racist and doing all of these things, but they are. And like you don't think that because it's like, oh, I live in New York City or I do this, but like no, like you're still playing into like that whole system and like that in the end, it's like hurting everyone. So it's like we could all just unite together and like get past all of these things and realize we're all humans, but we're getting caught up on all these like other things. So I don't know. I just thought it was really good. And it also was produced by Barack and Michelle Obama's production company, Higher Ground. And that added another level of like, oh my God, like, because it's based on a book. Leave the World Behind is a book. And Barack Obama, like in an interview, said like he did add in some ideas for other things that were not in the book, but that he experienced or he saw firsthand as president that would add to the story. And I was like, well, that is horrifying because that means like this is all real. So I know that there's some controversy. Like people have said that they think it's boring or they didn't get it. And if you didn't get it, or people have said like it's boring or they didn't like it. And I feel like if that was your take on it, then you didn't get it. And you might want to like look out because like you might get left behind. So anyway, okay. So then moving into my favorite TV show. So this was a little bit hard too, because I mean, there wasn't a lot of new TV this year because of like the writer and actor strike. I feel like I've been watching, like rewatching shows. Like right now I'm rewatching Game of Thrones. I'm in season 8, so I'm almost done. Or I've been watching shows that are new to me, but like are not new on TV. And, but I would have to say though, my favorite TV show, it's a limited series, was Black Cake. And I would say it's my favorite because of how quickly I watched it. Like I watched it in 2 days and I don't always watch things that quickly. Like I feel like I'm like, okay, I'll come back to this in like a couple days. But it was just so good. And the story was like so good and interesting. And at the end, it's based on a book too. So and at the end of each episode, it literally left you with a hook where I was like, oh, well, now I have to stay because I need to know what's going to happen next. So, I mean, the short of it is it's about, I don't know how to describe it without giving anything away. So it's based on this woman who like the storyline starts with her as a teenager and she's Jamaican. Her dad is like Chinese Jamaican and her mom is like Afro Jamaican. And that like kind of plays a critical part eventually like throughout the storyline. And she pretty much ends up leaving Jamaica and it's kind of like what happens to her after that and like to get to like where she is now in life because it's kind of like a backwards, like it starts in the future or like present day and then we go back to the past, like we kind of keep jumping back and forth. But I just thought it was really really good and like really well done. So and again one of those things where it ties in all of these like social things into it, into like the storyline. But I really liked it, and I hope that there's a season 2. I also kind of want to read the book now, but would definitely recommend. And then in the book realm, I don't think I physically read any books. I listened to a bunch of audiobooks this year. I just like I like was had a hard time. I mean, this is something I always have. More recently, I've had a hard time with, but especially I feel like this past year, like with sitting down and like physically reading a book and being still. But audiobooks, I love. So I listened to a handful of audiobooks this year, maybe like 10 or 15. And I would say that my favorite one was a book called Black Fortune. So it's called like, what's the full name of it? So it's like Black Fortunes, the story of the first 6 African American millionaires after slavery. Like the last part I might have butchered a little bit, but that's like the gist of it. And so, I mean, it's nonfiction, but I feel like the way that the story is told, it's like, it's not like a biography or anything like that. Like, there's still like storylines to it. And it's not like each chapter is about a different person. Like, it'll be like a couple different people that they're talking about at the same time in the chapter telling their stories, and but it's like those stories have a common theme and like it's woven throughout the storyline, or like throughout like how they're like the storytelling. And I just thought it was really like it's just like a was a really interesting way to like learn more history. And like growing up, like when we learned like learning about Black history in school, these were like the kind of stories that I really liked, or the kind of people that I really liked learning about, because I mean obviously feel like a lot of Black history taught in schools is slavery, and like, oh, in America, I should say. And that's kind of it. And although that is like a very critical and key part of Black history that like helps tell the rest of the story of Black history in America, it's not the only part. And I feel like there aren't as many stories told about people like this, especially in like the Reconstruction era, or like right around that time frame, because that's when like once enslaved people were emancipated and like they actually were free, we'll say free in quotes, but like were no longer enslaved. And it just is like a true, it's a testament, like hearing these people's stories, it's like a testament of like, wow, they literally were doing so much with nothing, but it felt like they had so much in comparison to like what they had before. And it is kind of like, again, dispels the myth of like Black inferiority, because it's like these people are capable of so much if they are not systematically being stopped from it all the time. And again, these kind of stories are interesting because like they all, like I said, they happen all right around Reconstruction or before Reconstruction, and then so much changes in American history right around that time frame, because then that's when like when people start like Black people started being successful, then there are all these rules written to stop them from doing that, and then that's how we end up and like in the history that we like all know now. So that's I don't know, it's just really interesting to like again hear these stories and hear about like just the way that the history is told, because there's just so many different parts of history that I feel like are told separate from each other, but really they were all happening at the same time. Like there are Native Americans that are talked about a lot like in some of the earlier chapters of this book, because they also like owned enslaved people, but their land was also being taken from them at the same time, and they were kind of like given these people to like a degree. So it's kind of just like a sick, like it's just like a cycle of all these like different things. And I never have really thought about like Native Americans and enslaved people existing at the same time, but then even like existing in the same like ecosystem at the same time, if that makes sense. So just little things like that that I just thought were really interesting, and it was a really great story. So those are all of my media picks from 2023. I tried to think of like my favorite like trip of the year, because I went on a lot of, I feel like, really fun trips, and I couldn't pick one that was my favorite, or even like my favorite like moment of the year, and I really couldn't pick one. I mean, I guess aside from starting this YouTube channel, because I feel like I've really like enjoyed doing that. But I feel like 2023 was a good year. I feel like I learned a lot, like I experienced a lot of new things, whether I bought them or like watched them on TV or like experienced them myself. And I'm looking forward to 2024. So, anyway, if you made it this far in the video and you've enjoyed it, which I hope that you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe so you can see more of my content, and leave me a comment maybe to let me know if you had a favorite product or if you've watched any of those things that I talked about. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Happy New Year.